Hey guys, today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. So, in honor of my upcoming Terraria series, I'm doing a Terraria series, an actual Terraria series, not just short, unedited videos, but proper videos. But in honor of that, I thought we could do a tier list of all the NPCs. So, if you're familiar with Terraria, I'm sure you know what NPCs are. If not, you should go look it up. Anyway, let's start. So, in F tier, we have Mr. McMoneypants. Now, if you didn't know, he's an unused NPC from Terraria Mobile for the unused event, the Chinese New Year event, which is unused. So, since you can't spawn him normally, and since he crashes the game if you try to interact with him, yeah, not very good. Also, in F tier, we have the guide, because who needs the guide? Except to summon the Wall of Flesh, but that's not the NPC himself, that's just killing the NPC, so that doesn't count. Anyway, in E tier, we're going to have Clothier. He sells clothes. Not even, like, exciting clothes, but just... he's not really that useful, and... I mean, it's purely aesthetic, so... not really that great. Also, we're going to have Santa, because he's basically the same thing, only decorational items, but not only clothes, blocks as well. But you can only spawn him in during part of the year, so... yeah, not the best. So in D tier, we're going to have the Angler. Now let me tell you why. You might disagree, and that's fine, but I don't like him because he's annoying. You have to go fishing for him to get all the loot. And the worst part is, to get the cell phone, which is a really good item, if you can get it, you have to get 3 separate things, and he's almost entirely dependent on RNG. And I like RNG, to a certain extent, but not that much of it. I don't like it. So he's going in D tier. He's not useless, unlike all the NPCs in the tiers below him, but he isn't that useful either, so that's where he's going. Next we have the dye trader. He sells dye. It's still slightly more interesting than the other ones because you can get cool patterns, but he's not that helpful. I mean, he does drop a sword, but he's not really that important to the game. Also, we have Party Girl. Sure, her stuff is purely aesthetic, but it is cool, and you can use the fireworks to cheese bosses, so there's that. And we have the pirate, or the pirate captain, or whatever he's called, because the only useful thing he sells is cannons, but does anyone really use those? They're way too expensive, and they're not exactly easy to aim. In C tier, we're going to have the Painter, purely because he drops a cool weapon, the paintball gun, which is useful if you're doing a range playthrough, because it doesn't use ammo. And ammo is the main drawback of range, because if you run out of ammo, you're basically doomed. But anyway, yeah, it doesn't use ammo, so it's pretty cool. We also have Hairstylist. She drops a sword as well, which can be useful if you're playing melee. And the hair dye she sells can tell you and stuff like time, or depth, or team. Kind of cool, and worth looking into. Although you'll have to wear the familiar wig or something if you want to take advantage of it. We also have the tax collector. He's not really that useful. There are better ways to earn money. He makes money, but it's not very efficient, honestly. And he's a pain to get because you have to go purify a tortured soul, which means you have to get purification powder, which is something that you'd never usually have, at least if you're me. I don't know about you guys. You might use that. Who knows? Anyway, you also... there's the Skeleton Merchant. He's useful if you like yo-yos, and that's about it. And he's not really that easy to find. So yeah, we're putting him way down there. Also, the Tavern Keep. These aren't in any particular order, by the way, except maybe S tier. But the Tavern Keep, the event he tries to get you to fight isn't really that useful. I mean, the drops aren't that good, and the things he sells aren't that good unless you're playing Summoner. But in that case, they're still not that great. And yeah, it's just not really good use of your time, and it's annoying to grind because like there's a ton of different drops you can get, and the first tier of the event isn't really useful. Like, you don't get any good drops. But anyway, let's move on to the next tier. In this tier, we're gonna have some of the early hard mode NPCs, such as the Merchant. He sells some useful stuff, least useful to you if you're in early pre-hard mode, but other than that, not that great. Same with Nurse. She can heal you fully if you use auto pause, which is convenient, but not really that exciting to me. Demolitionist. He sells explosives. That's about it. Explosives are cool, but not that cool. Then we're going to have the Traveling Merchant. He sells cool stuff, but only occasionally. Usually he'll have like one good thing and a bunch of garbage. He is needed to make the cell phone, though, which I do recommend getting if you have the patience. Also, the Mechanic. She sells wires and stuff, and that's it. A lot of these are very specific, and they only sell one type of stuff. And if you like that stuff, great. And if you don't like that stuff, they're not really useful to you. Also, the Steampunker. Another specific thing. She sells the Contaminator, which is overpriced, and it's used to change biomes, which is good if you want to control the spread of the corruption. Or you could just dig an elevator. It's 4 blocks wide or more to keep it from spreading. But you do you. And there's the Witch Doctor. The Witch Doctor is good because... Is the Witch Doctor a guy or a girl? I should check the wiki. But anyway, the Witch Doctor lets you get wings as soon as you're in hard mode, which is great because wings are great for hard mode because maneuverability and stuff. Anyway, yeah, that's cool. Now A tier is going to include the ones that are specific to classes. For example, the Arms Dealer, basically a necessity if you want to use guns, and the Cyborg, which you need for rockets, and Wizard, which you need for magic, and the Truffle, which you need for ranged weapons of any sort, because Shroomite armor, and you want Shroomite armor, don't you? Of course you do. Great. Then, in S tier, you're going to have some of the best NPCs of all. Old Men may not seem like a likely choice, but you do need to kill Skeletron if you want to beat Moonlord, so there's that. Also, the Goblin Tinkerer, who's useful to everyone and will be important if you want to get the best out of your weapons. Also, the Rocket Boots are really good. Now, we're going to have to create a whole new tier. I think we can all agree that the Dryad is the best NPC in the game. She's thick. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to like and subscribe. Tell me in the comments if you agree with me or disagree, or if you agree with some things and disagree with others. Whatever. I'd love to hear your opinion. And yeah, if you want to subscribe, that's great. Otherwise, don't. Do whatever. Have a nice day.